Welcome to Season 5 of My Wife the Dietitian, a fun, evidence-based weekly podcast about nutrition and healthy living. On today's show, we're discussing how walking can affect blood sugar levels and whether short walks are any different than a longer walk. Join us to find out. Enjoying the show? You can help others find it and enjoy it too by giving us a 5-star rating or review. If you feel like reaching out to us with a question or comment, you can send us an email at mywifetherd@gmail.com. And don't forget to visit our website at mywifethedietitian.com, as well as our social media pages. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Enjoy the show. Welcome to My Wife the Dietitian. Hello, Sandra.
Hi, Rob.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good. We have a question from a listener.
Excellent.
My husband has diabetes. We heard walking helps blood sugars. Would one big hike on the weekend be good for his diabetes and help with blood sugar control?
Probably.
Yeah, hike on a weekend would be great.
Doesn't sound like a horrible idea.
But we kind of want to do more than that for blood sugar control in terms of exercise.
Oh, you mean more than just like one big walk?
Yes.
Hike? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. When we move our muscles after eating, the body uses more of the fuel within the muscle itself. So it uses up its own carbohydrate stores. So it has a more of an impact on the blood sugar after and during.
So that means like after you finish eating, you go for just a short walk, and that's better for your blood sugar than going for like one big walk.
That's a good way to put it. But any way to move your body after eating is going to help your blood sugar. So people that fidget, they did studies on this, and just like a low intensity activity can help with blood sugar control, like household chores, moving, but you're not out of breath. But also like people that fidget, they actually it helps lower their blood sugar.
I always used to fidget. It used to drive my mom crazy. She would
Really?
say, stop fidgeting.
No way.
But
Yeah.
that's a good thing. I'll have to let her know.
Oh, I
that
know.
I'll have to fidget more.
Well, weren't we talking about because you're a musician and you were a bass player and a lot of your friends were drummers?
Yeah, drummers. Drummers are funny because I could always spot a drummer because they were always fidgeting. They're always like super fit, lean, typically. And maybe that's why, because they're just fidgeting and they've got high metabolism, and that's why they became drummers. Like it seems to suit their body type, I guess.
Yeah, I wonder if there's any research in that. That's really interesting.
Yeah, it's and I mean it's not 100%, but of all the people I played with, and I've played with a lot of people, yeah, I'd say 60-70% of the drummers were like that, high energy kind of.
Yeah.
Fidgeters.
It's so interesting because fidgeting can reduce the blood sugar rise by 30%.
Wow.
I know. And if you go for a walk, it's 50%. So if you're moving your muscles and if you're walking soon after a meal, that will really help with having your muscles take in that glucose so that you don't even have to release the insulin.
Okay.
Your body isn't releasing that insulin. So our fuel sources are our muscles. So it stores a lot of the sugar, a lot of the carbohydrate, and it's called glycogen stores. And then the liver has a big fuel tank. So when you're really working out or maybe, high intensity, like a jog or a run, you're using the stores in the carbohydrate stores in your muscles, but you also could probably get an adrenaline boost, which actually makes the liver produce more sugar to mobilize more sugars for you. Because if you're running from the wildebeest or the,
right, as we often do.
Yeah, right. From like historically.
Historically, right.
Fight or flight, the adrenaline you know.
It's more like running to catch the bus these days. That's the modern day wildebeest.
Right,
You
right.
try to catch it, not run from it.
Right. That's so funny. You're
Mhm.
hilarious. And then the other fuel source is your diet. So actually eating. And if there's carbohydrates in that food, then that will help with fueling your muscles, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But that's why it's so important to move and often. So the idea that one big hike on the weekend, yeah, great if he likes that and that's a way to get moving, that's awesome. But the exercise guidelines, just like the Canada's food guide, they have a physical activity guide too. And that indicates 150 minutes per week of physical activity.
Mhm.
Like it breaks down to about 30 minutes a day. And it's actually really helpful if you walk after a meal and if you walk more than once a day. So if you're walking after lunch, that would be great. So maybe 10 minutes 3 times a day. A little bit more is fine, but that's kind of the bottom, like
Yeah,
the minimum.
the minimum.
That's right. Yeah.
And I guess the confusion is a lot of people see that recommendation and think they need to walk 30 minutes a day and assume that that means all at once.
Mm.
And what you're suggesting is it might be better for your blood sugar control to break that 30 minutes into smaller sections and do them after you've eaten.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably not possible for everybody to do
Hmm.
that all the time, but any type of movement, as I mentioned, is really helpful for blood sugar control. And with exercise in general, we want to have consistency. Like we want to just get into habits of, doing things regularly because that, consistency beats perfection every time. So if you're thinking, "Oh, I'm going to like go to the gym," and that whole scenario of like the New Year's resolutions and sign up for a gym membership and then
Hmm.
by February it totally drops off,
Hmm.
the consistency isn't there. So it has to be fun. If you have fun with the exercise, if you're enjoying it, you look forward to it, it's probably something that you're going to continue to do.
Hmm.
But if it's something you dread or you're like, oh, I have to do this, oh, you know,
Yeah, right.
that you probably won't stick with it. So we are meant to move. Our humans are meant to be moving, and we know that muscle is the longevity organ. It's like the most important organ in our whole organ system. I mean, the muscle is one of the biggest organ systems we have, and we have this growing epidemic of sarcopenia, which is lack of lean muscle. And it really impacts your quality of life, your independence. It impacts your level of recovering after illness, of getting sick, and just there's so much. I'm going on a huge tangent here, but we are actually having a guest. We're bringing back a guest that we had a couple of years ago, Lisa Duncan, and that's next month, and we're going to be talking all about people that are under muscled. So the importance of muscle and how it is like so integral for our health.
Absolutely. Yeah, Lisa's a local fitness instructor. She runs a gym with her husband and has a lot of knowledge on staying fit, especially as you're getting older and, helping keep those muscles moving.
Yeah, yeah, it's so important. And if you have diabetes, then moving those muscles after eating is really, really important and critical for helping with your blood sugar control and long-term blood sugar management.
Yeah. Now, question. We always say that, you got to be mindful when you're eating and take your time and, like enjoy your meal and not rush and not stand to eat and not run around while you're eating. But now we're also saying that you should get up and go for a walk when you're done eating, right? So is there some kind of, I don't know, like time to wait before you walk, or is it better for your blood sugar to go right away, or like fast walk, slow walk? Like,
Depends on the person
okay,
and where they're starting from, but yeah, within 10 minutes of eating, 10 to 20, that's a great time to get moving.
perfect.
Hmm.
All right.
And a brisk walk. So if you walk briskly for 20 minutes, it can reduce that it can reduce your risk of developing diabetes by 41%.
41%.
So
Really?
exercise is so
Just by
important.
brisk walking versus just regular walking.
Yes, so that you are slightly out of breath. Like it's hard to, you know,
Like
keep up a
walk,
conversation.
yeah, like walk like someone's following you. You know, in the movies, you think you see that scene where someone's following you and they start to like pick up the pace a bit to try to like get away from the person.
Right.
That kind of walking, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, don't injure yourself. Like, I think you should definitely start from where you're at. Just putting your walking shoes at the door, just so that is a cue to put those on and take your step outside. Like sometimes there's so many little tiny barriers for people to move that it just stops them before they get started. So it's, just start with a, easy pace, some deep breaths and posture, and just start walking and, walk more, sit less is a good logo or a good
Slogan.
slogan.
There you go. You know what's a great thing to do while you're walking?
What?
Listen to a podcast
Yeah, I agree.
like this one, right? That's another reason
A
we do it.
shameless self promotion there.
Well, really, it's one of the biggest reasons we do this podcast is to give people something to listen to while they're walking,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. I love podcasts. Like I
Yeah,
listen to
I know
so
you
many
too.
different ones, and it's through walking with the dog and also, commuting with driving. It's just a great way to learn and get curious on different topics. And yeah, it's
A
so
lot,
fun.
a lot of Sandra's stories start with, I heard on a podcast the other day.
You're saying that a lot more
I
lately.
am too.
Yeah,
You're right. But
totally.
yeah, it is a great source of information. And I find that when I'm listening to a podcast, it extends my walk because I don't want the podcast to finish. So I just keep, I'll do another lap or I'll just keep going wherever I'm going and just sort of extend my walk until my podcast is over. And you don't even really notice the walk as much. I mean, in a good way. I mean, you're not like counting the steps and going, oh, when am I going to be home? And you're thinking about the next thing to do and all that. You're just like kind of like your feet are moving and you're just going along and you're focusing on what you're listening to. And before you know it, you've done like 3 miles and, you've got a good little hike in.
Yeah, maybe people are listening to it right now on their walk
Yeah,
or
hopefully.
their hike, their weekend hike. And I totally think that that's a great idea to do a nice big long hike on the weekend. Um, but also those daily, making sure that you're trying to move your body daily. And after months of exercise, it really helps your metabolism. It will impact your blood sugar management in a really positive way, and your muscles and liver start to change over time, and it actually changes your physiology to control your blood sugars long term.
Really?
Yeah, so the muscle is so key.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So explain the insulin thing again. That's something we don't like. You were saying what is it that releases the insulin? Your your liver,
The pancreas.
pancreas, and if we don't use up, or once you use up your energy in your muscles, the glycogen, is that what we called it?
The carbohydrate stores in the muscles called
Yeah.
glycogen. Yeah.
Then you start producing insulin, and we don't want to do that because that's
Well,
bad for your body. Is that,
no, no,
or is
no.
it?
It's not bad for your body, but we have this chronic, a lot of people, because we're eating a lot and often through the day, and our body will uh, produce the insulin, and it's a fat storage hormone.
Okay.
And it also helps to take the blood sugar into the cell. So out of the bloodstream into the cells.
Okay.
And but if we move and use our muscle after eating, our muscle actually will take that blood sugar in.
Before it goes into
It
your,
doesn't need the insulin to
it
do
just
that.
bypasses that whole. Yeah,
Yeah.
I see.
So it's a great way to help with blood sugar control. And we did a few other episodes on exercise that I would love for the listeners to refer back to. And definitely this listener who asked the question, There's episode 166, increased longevity with daily exercise. Because I think daily is part of the critical message here, not just once a week.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Okay. And Nutrition Nugget 61, what kind of exercise should I do? Is another one. And Nutrition Nuggets 97, lower blood pressure with 5-minute exercise. Remember when we heard about that study that just exercising for 5 minutes can actually impact, it's a statistically significant impact on blood pressure. So to help with lowering blood pressure, just to start to exercise and very minimally, like 5 minutes a day.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So again, start from where you're at, right? Another one we did, Nutrition Nuggets 113, easy office exercises to do at your desk.
Yeah, 'cause that's where some people are all day, right? So there's no excuse.
I know. And that's the problem. And, as we get into this, more GLP-1s being prescribed and the Ozempic, that is going to be an issue if people, they're not eating enough or they're not eating good quality foods and they're not moving, because the movement, the exercise, the weight bearing exercise is so important for lean muscle. And we are going to become a society that is sarcopenic, which is low muscle, like not enough muscle. And that really impacts it has ripple effects for all of your health.
Yeah, exactly. It is the one thing with the GLP that you were saying. It's kind of a false sense of health. Do you know what I mean? Like if the goal of the GLP-1 is to sort of make your body smaller and look a certain way, and you look in the mirror and go, "Ooh, I look good. I must be healthy," then you're not really focusing on going to the gym to work out and doing your daily walks and eating well and all that, because you've just got this prescription that does all that for you. So it's a bit of a false sense of health moving forward.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And it's actually more detrimental to lose muscle than to gain a bit of fat.
Yeah. You said that
They've
before.
actually, yeah. So losing muscle is really, it has so many ripple side effects.
Oh, that's crazy.
And this whole message of, with the physical guidelines with 150 minutes of exercise a week, which is minimum, or like 30 minutes a day, kind of fits in with Japan has the plus 10, which is a lifelong health support 10, or like it's a health initiative with small daily activities. So their 10 different activities and initiatives are no smoking or quit smoking and reduce your secondhand smoke. So exposure to secondhand smoke. Physical activity is like right up there. So right after smoking, like physical activity, limit alcohol or decrease the amount of alcohol, limit the fried foods, the sugary drinks, the sodium and salty foods, so reduce all those. And the things to have more of is more fiber, more vegetables and fruits, more fish, more soy, and keeping a body weight that is within your ideal body weight.
Yeah. Well, that all makes sense.
And that all can help reduce your cardiovascular disease risk, your cancer, and other chronic diseases, including diabetes. So that is just a little quick snapshot. We'll probably do a whole nother episode on that. But yeah, it's interesting to see that, across the world, there's different guidelines, but they're kind of all similar.
Yeah. In the same direction anyway. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, that's really neat. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah. So hopefully this helps the listener that we took the question from, and maybe she can encourage her husband to do some chores after a meal around the house.
Knew you were going to say that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That will help with blood sugar control.
Here's the broom. There you go. Let's work on that blood sugar.
Washing dishes.
Oh, yeah.
Anything that's moving your body a little bit, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Buy a drum kit. That's another good one. There we go. All right. Well, thanks for sharing all that. And if you want some more tips and great information, check out our website. It's mywifethedietitian.com. Lots of great stuff there. You can sign up for a free weekly newsletter as well while you're there. There's a link for that on most pages on the site. I think you can access that. So click on that. You'll get a weekly newsletter from us with all sorts of great tips, recipes, different articles and updates and stuff. It's worth checking out. If you have questions for us, like our listener did today, you can email us at mywifetherd@gmail.com. And you can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Feel free to reach out to us there as well. If you're liking the show, let us know. We love hearing your feedback, your comments, your questions, your ideas, all that stuff. It's super helpful for us and kind of lets us know that we're on the right track with what we're putting out here. And if you like the show, let your friends know. Be sure to share with them. That helps us as well. So that is it for today. We'll be back on Thursday with Nutrition Nuggets. So until then, have a fantastic week.
Thanks for joining us today on My Wife the Dietitian. If you like what you heard, don't be shy. Leave us a comment or review and be sure to share our podcast with your friends. If you'd like to hear more, hit that subscribe button. You can also follow us on our social media pages for updates, episode trailers, and other odds and ends. For more info and links on what we discussed on today's episode, check the show notes. We'll be back next week with another informative and fun-filled episode.